Hi, I'm Pamela, and today I'm about to talk to you about business partners at the VUB. Because at the VUB we have several business partners who support the independent academic staff, which we call in Dutch ZAP members, and I will refer to during this presentation to ZAP members the whole time. We provide support to these ZAP members mainly on HR and financial matters. But why is this important to you? Well, first of all, your track might lead to becoming a ZAP member yourself. Secondly, ZAP members might appoint you as a delegate as well, where you have to provide them certain support. So you will need to know where to address your question, where to look up certain information, and how to proceed with what you need to do. So this presentation will address those topics. To give you an idea how our team is actually structured, well, we have a direct report to Raf de Vos, who is the head of HR department, which at the VUB we call the People and Organization Department. We also have a dotted line to Nadine Verheijen, who is the finance director. Our team of business partners currently exists of 3 colleagues, which is Mylinda, Caroline and myself, but we are awaiting 2 future colleagues to join us shortly. Each business partner actually represents a certain cluster of faculties. For example, Mylinda is single point of contact for, among others, medicine and pharmacy. Caroline is SPOC for, among others, social sciences. And I am SPOC for, among others, law and criminology. As we have a direct link with the People and Organization Department, I wanted to give you an idea of how this department is organized and how it looks like. As you can see, there are different teams with each their own team leader, and these teams represent a certain expertise. For example, you have team legal, you have team information system, and you have, for example, also team learn. Learn is all about trainings at the VUB, which are provided in Theo, and I will talk about Theo shortly. But the core of this structure is actually collaboration, because thanks to collaborating with different teams and different people, we are able to provide our clients an efficient solution. I'd like to also talk, of course, about our role as a business partner. What do we actually do? What is our focus? We have different focuses, and one of those focuses is, as a policymaker, we work on a strategic level, which means that we actually try to detect needs that are currently active by receiving input from ZAP members, but also faculties, etc. We try to align these needs actually with the organization's priorities and goals, of course. Another focus of ours is to have, of course, an extensive knowledge of the services and solutions that are provided by the central departments, in this case HR and finance. To give you an idea of what services what services we offer, I'd like to talk to you about, for example, the ClickUp PKC session, which is actually a monthly individual session that we can organize for you in case you would have questions about your project budget, in case you would like to know how to optimize your budget, or you just need general information on that. So during these individual sessions, you will be able to receive an answer on that. We also can support you in complex cases as a facilitator or coordinator. Complex cases, I mean this when with complex cases, I mean actually when different departments of the VUB need to collaborate in order to provide one and final solution or answer to your question. Another service that we provide is when you, by your own experience, notice a lack of certain process or workflow, please let us know, because that is the kind of input that we definitely can use. This is actually an example. So the flowchart is an example of what we have created to support ZAP members at the VUB. By being actually in constant dialogue with the ZAP members, we detected actually a certain need, and that was the question, what do I need to do as a ZAP member to obtain financial aid for my project? So we analyzed this question, we collaborated with different departments, and we came up with a very simple flowchart. this flowchart actually takes you step by step that you need to chronologically follow, and it also shows actually who's the dedicated or the respective person that needs to follow those actions. For example, in the first step you have the sub-member that needs to initiate the whole process by, among others, checking relevant information on project funding or getting an approval of the ethics committee, etc. You also see certain numbers in the flowchart that are in superscript. These numbers actually provide more detailed information or contact details, but I haven't provided that information in this presentation as this is just a print screen. The original document will be provided in ServiceNow, and I will talk about ServiceNow also in a bit. I'd like to go actually more into detail in the two first steps of the flowchart. And the first step is actually that the sub-member needs to draft up a proposal. With this proposal comes also an Excel file where he or she will need to describe how many employees he or she needs on the project and what type of employment these employees will have. So you can also have an idea beforehand of the cost per statute or type of employment and what impact this cost will have on your total budget of the project. For example, a scholarship will cost you around 40,000 euro per year. But to have an idea and a detailed or more detailed idea on the cost, this is step 2. The sub-member needs to contact people and organization through ServiceNow. Based on a template. This template you will actually need to fill in certain details, and based on this template you will need to register your request in ServiceNow, or SNOW in short, where there is at people and organization a single point of contact or dedicated person for this, which is Cathy Mortier. This is actually just to have a detailed view on your personnel cost. So I have talked about ServiceNow, and of course the question is, what is ServiceNow? Well, ServiceNow is actually the portal at the VUB that has two purposes. One of those purposes is to address your question, any kind of question you have, but related to HR and ICT. So as you see, you have two icons, Ask P&O, People and Organization, and Ask ICT. The second purpose is to be able to search actually through the knowledge database, where there are several articles that might already be able to provide you a certain answer. So if you have a question, be sure to actually check first the knowledge database before, and then you can ask your question. An important thing to mention here is that the finance department will also join ServiceNow, which means that you will be able to address your question around financial matters also through one and the same portal. Maybe you have some questions as well about your own personal HR file at P&O, and for this you first need to find out or need to know what type of employment you have. If you have a direct contract with the VUB, then you probably have one of these statutes or type of employment: assisting academic staff, research and teaching staff, and so on. In this case, you will be able to address your question through ServiceNow, and you will be in touch with one of our account managers, as I might call them, at People and Organization. In case you don't have a direct contract with the VUB, and for example, FBO or IMEC or iMinds is your employer, you will need to address your questions to the HR department there. However, for international PhD students that are financed by their own universities or entities abroad, they can contact the VUB department IRMO. So I've talked about Theo, and I wanted to show you what Theo is. And Theo is the HR tool that we have at the VUB, and this is a tool that where you can actually manage your own personal file digitally wherever and whenever. You have actually at Theo certain aspects that you can use. You can see that you can adapt to or edit your profile, but Theo also provides other stuff such as looking up what kind of trainings are offered at the VUB for your profile, looking up what kind of job vacancies there currently are at the VUB, if you have any interest on how the organization at the VUB looks like and how it is structured. This is information that is provided in Theo. But also very important is this is a tool where you will need to register your absences, for example, sickness, holidays, academic leave, etc. An important thing to mention for external employees, they also will need to request their academic leave through Theo. And for this, you actually need to go to My Profile. You have the tab Requests, where you scroll until you see academic leave and you choose the type of academic leave that you will need to register. So that was it actually for our role. And yeah, if you have any questions, please address it through ServiceNow. But if you have any suggestions, tips that we can definitely use, well, you can contact us directly. Thanks a lot. Bye.